We couldn't even get a full week of celebration. Enjoy just a little bit of happiness for the Louisville fan base and celebrating the win over Miami before the football gods come and try to take it all away again. What's cooking? Welcome back into another edition of Now We Can Talk Like Fans on ESPN Louisville Plus. My name is Justin Zover, and of course, I've got you covered for all things cards, cats, bourbon, and bluegrass. And once again, I'm here talking about the Louisville Cardinals. I feel like a lot of things on this channel have been circling around Louisville, whether it be basketball, recruiting, things going on with the Cardinals, Miami, and the victory there. And yeah, I know a lot of times when I talk about the Cats, it's a lot of stuff that sets off BBN and they get mad at me and they get angry. So today, BBN, you get to set it out. Once again, we're talking Cardinal news, and that is latest reports. Potential. Could Jeff BROHM be leaving the University of Louisville for another pasture only after 3 years of heading the Cardinals football program? This leads me to an article written by one Mike DeCourcy, and let me go ahead and put that on the screen for you now. Mike DeCourcy of the Sporting News, who you may recall from his time over there on The Take with Andy Sweeney, and even further back, joining with Jason Anderson weekly there at ESPN 680, back when he used to run The Zone on ESPN 680. But anyway, Mike DeCourcy thought it was a good time to put his opinion out there that one Big Ten school, obviously from his perch high in Indianapolis, that he had to go and suggest that the Big Ten school, Penn State, that now that they have moved on from James Franklin, it was time to go after another big fish in a medium-large pond. And that, of course, would be Jeff BROHM would be a home run hire for Penn State. But getting him to leave home would be tricky. This article was put out today. He talks about on this day 3 years ago, Jeff BROHM was introduced. No presented would be a better word because he needed no introduction. As the new head football coach at the University of Louisville, he did not take long to acknowledge the obvious. This is home to him. He goes on to talk, and I'm not going to read, you can go give him clicks and read over there on everything that he has to say, but we'll jump to the important parts when I want to talk about. He highlights the resume. He talks about what he has done at his previous stops. If you're a Louisville fan, you already know what he's done. If you're coming from Penn State to look at this, he's done some good shit. I don't know what to tell you. We've enjoyed him as a coach. Yes, we worry about the BROHM blunder, but he's going to win you a big time game sometime during the season. We've already said that why BROHM might consider leaving Louisville was contained right there in the paragraph. He will have a luxury of coaching the Cardinals pretty much as long as he wishes and earns a pretty comfortable living at $6 million a year. He can contend for ACC titles and the college football playoff berth. The road to the CFP title, though, does not travel through the modern ACC. It is not impossible to win in there, but it's far less likely than for those coaching in the SEC and the Big Ten. The members have won 85% of the CFP trophy since the event was introduced, yada, yada, yada. You can read all this. And then he goes on to say that Penn State is an established member of the upper crust with enough money to blow on a defensive coordinator whose unit is allowing an average of 30 points to Big Ten opponents. BROHM would receive all the resources necessary to make the team regularly competitive with the elite far more than anyone else. He looks like the one who could turn regularly competitive into frequently superior. And then he goes on to say that basically, if this opportunity were presented him and he said no to Penn State, he'd most certainly remain with Louisville for life. That being said, I understand the points he's making, and we've heard it how many times before. If you're a Louisville fan, you might be having a little bit of PSD right now. We're getting tired of this cycle of 3 years and you're done and you're out, and we're looking for a new head football coach. Whether it be 3 years of miserable Steve Cragthorpe. Then again, I soften on him a little bit. RIP, it's unfortunate circumstances, but it did not work out here. Charlie Strong, 3 years, flirted with Tennessee a little bit, and then finally made the jump to Texas. Bobby Petrino, who was lining up for any suitor he could, Auburn and multiple other places before he finally left to go to the NFL in Atlanta. And then, of course, what has happened the other times when it came to, I was about to say Scott Satterfield, but let's not kid ourselves. He was not getting renewed. Thank gosh that you moved on. Thank you, Scott Satterfield. Thank you, Cincinnati. Yes, you got him in the top 25 right now, but thank you. We love our BROHM. And one thing that's true is we trust our BROHM. And yes, this is cheesy. This is going to be a little bit of cringeworthy, I guess, for me. This is not usually who I am, but I think this is a circumstance where Louisville fans can trust their BROHM. I don't see Jeff Brohm leaving the University of Louisville for any other collegiate job. I just don't. I don't see it happening. I don't care if it's Ohio State. I don't care if it's Alabama again. I don't care. I honestly don't care if it's Notre Dame. I don't think Jeff Brohm leaves the University of Louisville to go to another school that is playing collegiate football. Now, could he leave to go to the NFL to try to compete in the NFL? Yeah, absolutely. I think that's on the table. I think it could happen sometime down the road. But I do not think that Jeff Brohm is going to be the guy that's going to tuck tail and leave Louisville. I know people will fight back a little bit on me and saying successful seasons, the Brohm doubters, if you will. But I'm sorry, as a Louisville fan, you're going to tell me 10 wins the first season. Yes, there were 4 losses. Yes, there were things that didn't go the way you would like. You didn't play very well against Miller Moss in the bowl game. And then, of course, you had what happened against Florida State in the ACC championship game. Jeff Brohm has been successful. We're looking at right now the biggest moment since he has become a Louisville head coach. Defeating the number 2 team in the country, taking it to Miami, bringing home the trophy, honoring a Howard Schnellenberger, which, while if you've watched our reels and you listen to the Diener Show Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. on ESPN Louisville, 93.9 The Ville, and the ESPN Louisville app. ESPN 680 is what I meant to say, 105.7. but anyway, if you've listened to their show, maybe it's a little bit of openness. I didn't realize that the Howard Schnellenberger line, the collision course with the national championship, and the only variable is time, that the variable was actually which school I'm at. No matter what school I'm at, I'm going to say it. He was right with Miami. Unfortunately, that time variable is taking a little bit longer for Louisville. I think Jeff Brohm is a guy who has plans and has goals and has desires to see the University of Louisville win a national championship. And I think he wants to be the guy. No, I think he is driven to be the guy, to be the one to bring it home. Making the playoff would be the first step for Jeff Brohm. Business is not complete here. And there's one thing that we know too is he's loyal to his people. When he left Purdue, it was only because he wanted Louisville, because it's home. He loves Louisville. They knew it was going to happen eventually. He said no the first time to coming to Louisville because of loyalty, because of the people that work at Purdue that gave him the opportunity. And he said no. You think this is a guy that's going to leave his hometown to go coach for Pedophile Island? I'm sorry. I probably shouldn't have said that, but I said it. You can't walk away from that.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
While it is a funny bit, it was funny when it happened because we're all angry and hurt over him not coming. That is the true emotion of a guy who loves where he is, who loves the school. Well, that was where he would be, but who loves the University of Louisville. And it broke his heart to say no. It's not happening. He's not going to Penn State. It won't happen. I would be shocked. But at the same time, that's the fun in this. This is the first time that way, yes, you could have a coach that is being mentioned for maybe soon to be every name, every job in the book that comes open, every big job. It's because he's successful. It's because he's good. It's what we want. Otherwise, they're talking about Bobby 2.0 and the meltdown that was happening here. We're talking about Scott Satterfield, who people were happy that he was at Louisville because it was an easy win. Mark Stoops. And then we're talking about Steve Crackthorpe. We're talking about who ruined their legacy, that kind of stuff. Not that he had a legacy to begin with. So as it stands right now, no, Penn State is not yours. You can't have him. I'm sorry. I appreciate it. We're flattered that you love our coach. We enjoy that you want our guy, but he's ours. He bleeds red and he can prove that. He is a Louisville Cardinal and he will be, I think, until he retires. But the biggest statement that he could make right now is either A, coming out and shutting down any rumors or talk about Penn State, but shutting down the idea that he would even be interested in going to a school like that, it would be the nice first step. The second step, maybe he won't even have to get to the first step, is doing what Indiana did with Kurt Signetti. Go ahead, just lock him down, give him that raise. He came in on the BROHM discount. You're not going to be able to keep him at the discount. So I'm not saying that we need to go pay $11 million. We don't need to lock ourselves down like Mitch Barnhart did with Stoops. We don't need that to happen. But show your guy the love that he deserves. And also, like, he's not a guy that I believe that's truly in it just for the money. Yes, he wants to take care of his family. Yes, he wants to provide for people. But you're talking about the dude who drove the Honda Civic for how many freaking years? I think he finally upgraded his car. And I think he still lives at his home that he's always had here. He's not been a showy, flashy guy. He's a comfortable, salt-of-the-earth Louisvillian. And that's why he ain't going anywhere. Let me know your thoughts and opinions, guys, in the comment section down below. Do me a favor, smash the freaking like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. Real quick, I want to remind you guys, every Sunday night at 9 p.m., we have the After Dark live show. I go live with some of your favorite personalities from ESPN 680 and 93.9 The Ville. They'll hop on and talk about, I'm guessing this weekend, we're probably going to have a conversation about what's going on with Louisville basketball and how that Kansas game turned out. So join us there. Make sure you tune in. And also, if you feel so inclined, you want to support our channel and help us to continue to bring this content, bring these videos, hit the join button. If you hit the subscribe, hit the join button as well. Sign up to be a member, and that'll help us to be able to keep this up and keep it going along in the future. Cards, cats, bourbon and bluegrass. I'll see you guys next time.